The Gotham to Tokyo podcast, presented by Messina Records.
That's where the story began. Just for sky, but for scattered souls. The four souls got closer and closer, taking up their arms. Still unconscious was the option to become a one, but transmitting knowledge to voice is power and speaks for all. Four stars have been recalled from all the ways, coming from different sides with diverse words assorted colors, fusing in one beam. Four stars have been recalled from all the ways, ready to shout and fight under the deepest red skyfall. What should I fall? We should know. Indeed, the days gone training to death and ready for a new tale. Dreaming of retries and for life. Indeed, the days gone, there might be people real sales. One shot, remaining there is no time for the struggle. Indeed, the days come. Indeed, we're standing still. Indeed, your desires don't limit on your potential. Because the only question is how badly do you want it? We all fight for dreams and for made them real. We all fight for the same aim and same will. Four stars have been recalled from all the ways, coming from different skies with diverse words assorted colors, fusing in one beam. Four stars have been recalled from all the ways, ready to shout and fight under the deepest red skyfall. What should I fall? We should know. Four stars have been recalled from all the ways, coming from different skies and trails. Be waiting for this moment. Four stars have been recalled from all the ways, coming from different skies with diverse words assorted colors, fusing in one beam. Four stars have been recalled, sparkling fire, burn around desire. Where skyfall to pursue, where him is rising from the ground.
The Gotham to Tokyo podcast. The Gotham to Tokyo podcast. Now, for your main interview of the day, we're going to be talking to Fabio, the lead vocalist from Ask I Fall. We're going to talk about their upcoming tour and what's been going on with them. Enjoy. Hey, Fabio.
Hello, guys.
Hello. How you doing?
All good. How are you doing?
Good. All right, there you go.
Sorry, I was setting this in. Let me put,
Yeah, for sure.
Put maybe some light on.
Yeah. That's cool.
How are you doing, guys? How's your day?
Good. How about
There
you?
go.
How about you? How you
Yeah,
doing?
not bad.
Good.
All good, thank you. Yeah, I was playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Ah, he's a gamer. Matthew is more of the game guy than me. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, lately not so much though, but I spent a lot of my teenage years
Mm,
playing lots of video games and computer games.
yeah.
And thank you very much for this, guys. Much appreciated.
Yeah,
Really cool to
absolutely.
do that. Here we go.
All right, so you are the second Ask I Fall member I've had on the podcast. I had Zach last year,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
but he's busy
right.
recently. He had told me, so he said our singer Fabio, he could probably do it. So that's why I reached out. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming on here today. And can you just first introduce yourself? Tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. No, first of all, guys, thank you very much for this, actually, for inviting me. So for me, it's really a pleasure to do it, and it's always good, to connect with
Yeah.
let's say the gaijin community here in
Yeah, of course.
Japan, like following rock and metal, right? So
Yeah.
in a nutshell, I mean, my name is Fabio. I'm from Italy, and I've been in Japan about 9 years now. I mainly come from a profile of Asian studies, and then I come here mainly for continuing my study, and then I stayed for business. And as I've been a musician since I think since 16 or 15 years old, then I just started pursuing my passion here, and yeah, that's where Ask I Fall is. Yeah.
Yes. So for anybody that doesn't know, you are the lead singer of Ask I Fall. And could you just introduce Ask I Fall as a band to anybody who doesn't know?
Yeah, sure. So Ask I Fall, we started this project now should be about 3.5 years ago, if I'm correct. So, as many people know, bands take a lot of time to find the right members. And so we basically had like 1.5 years just starting member, and the other year in the middle of Corona. So the band, it's all but new. And yeah, we're a metalcore band based in Tokyo, where mostly we are foreigners and one Japanese member.
Right. And so you're going to be going on a short tour, right? This week. When does the tour start?
Yeah, exactly. We're going on a short tour, so Kanto tour. So Kanto is like the north region of Japan, and we're getting 3 dates here in Japan in Kanto. So we're playing in Chiba, Kanagawa, and the last one will be a show that is actually produced by ourselves, which is called Moshi in Tokyo. And that would be our final date here in Tokyo, Sangenjaya.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. So what have you been doing leading up to this tour that's been going on? I know you guys put out, was an EP last year around the same time that I talked to Zach. You had just put out, I think, Chromesthesia. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but that was
yeah.
Right? And I had talked to him around that time. So are you going to be touring in support of that, or do you have new music that's coming out?
Yeah, absolutely. This tour is basically called Where We Belong Tour, which is Where We Belong is the title of a new single that we are releasing actually in a week, just before this tour. And this will be on free download for everyone. And this is one of the last song that we've been working on, and we're very excited to release it. So we have definitely have new production on it. We have more developed music on it. So please go check it out, guys. And yeah, mainly this for promoting this new single coming up, and for promoting actually Moshi in Tokyo, which is one of our big project here in Japan. As I mentioned before, it is our produced event here in Japan. And what we want to do with Moshi in Tokyo, it is also kind of gathering, the foreigner engaging community here and start to fusing it with the local communities as well. So it's where we invited, bands from Japan, and where we invite bands from outside Japan, or more other foreigner bands here in Japan playing all metalcore style.
Cool. That's really cool. So can you tell us about some of the other bands that you're going to be doing this with?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So basically we have so starting maybe with the only band that is not metal, but also because in our music there, as you can hear, as we play like more melodic type of metalcore, we have some maybe also poppy influence, as you can see, right? So we have the first band playing, which is Max 10, which is a pop rock band.
Okay.
Then we have an hardcore band called Motorhead.
Okay.
Yeah. And then playing more, there is another like metal, a little bit like Visual Kei style band called Vero Scarlet. They're very cool. They have a lady singer, which she's very powerful. So they're very other cool band. And another band which have been pretty long in the underground metalcore, like goth metal style, band called Given by the Flames here in Japan. They're another very, very cool band.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely, you gotta check it out then for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's very cool. And being, having a community is always a good thing, because there's not so many foreigner bands here in Japan. So when you do meet people that have a band, it's cool to, get to talk to them and get to play with them and stuff like that. So I just wanted to ask you about, because you said you started when you were 16 being a musician, right? So who were some of your early influences as a singer, as a musician, if you...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kind of, that's cool to think about it, right? You never think about where your first influences, but I started actually playing bass just because actually a friend of mine was a guitarist and was like, yeah, we need the bass. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not doing shit lately, so let's start playing the bass. And so maybe my first influences were around Red Hot Chili Peppers, like I think Red Hot Chili Peppers were my first influence for sure. And then Linkin Park, that's like the first band I started getting along with rock music. But if you ask me as a singer, because for me singing is something pretty recent, honestly speaking, because I've been doing a lot of other things, and I'm kind of continuing my journey as a singer now. I would say that maybe Spencer Sotelo have been one of the big key points for me. So Periphery, for sure. It's one of the band that really inspired me as a singer, I would say. Yeah.
That's a cool band. I think Matthew likes Periphery.
My dad does.
Oh yeah, his father likes.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah, he's really. It's funny. So in high school, I used to play a lot of post-hardcore, screamo type music. And now a lot of the bands that my dad listens to, there's a lot of screaming. It's heavier now. Like a band he's really into that I never thought you would like was Of Mice and Men. So I used to, and now my dad listens to them and he used to make fun of like the screaming, and now I'm like, so yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, he loves Periphery though. Like he's really into them, and he's seen them live a few times. They're really good, great musicians. Really
Absolutely. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. So you said singing was a recent thing. Ask I Fall has only been around for maybe 2.5 years. So how did you get the band together? How did you and everybody form Ask I Fall? That's basically connected for me starting to get into singing more seriously, because in the beginning I was I've been a musician. I've been composing and playing music from rock to electronic, and then I started singing because I was here in Japan by myself, and I mostly started as an hobby, so like singing in karaoke and this kind of things, and then I said, but let's just doing it more seriously. And then I said, I have to motivate myself. Let's start to find a band. And then I started to look for a band, but I went to a couple of bands, and there were some bands that were good. I wanted to enter, but they didn't get me because it sucked at the time. And I got some band that they wanted to get me in, but maybe I didn't have a good feeling with them, and
and then I started to make my own band, because anyway I could write music, I could do other things, and that's where I started to gather the first member. And what's funny is that then I actually met Zach as the last member of the band, because when I first meet actually with the one of the first drummer we had, Hisashi, was actually left the band a couple of months ago, and now we have a new drummer, Robin, joined the band, and we actually promoted on social media a couple of weeks ago about the new members. So Sashi, our drummer, and Nishiva, our guitarist. And yeah, then Zach got in, and Zach is a great producer. He's a great mind. He really does a lot of good stuff with music, and that's where really Skyfall started to get into play. So we started to release our own music and producing the stuff that now you're hearing now. Yeah,
that's cool. So you're going to be putting out the single next week before the tour starts. So could you tell me a little bit about the single, like recording and just general ideas?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Well, it is a song that I said before, one of the last, but last time we've been in the studio together to record this is probably something like 3 or 4 months ago. So quite a long time ago, and we were just waiting for the right time to release it. But then, because of Corona, a lot of concerts and stuff were keep postponing, and they weren't allow us to produce Motion Tokyo, which is what we wanted to really start focusing on. So so it has been produced about 4 months ago, and now we're ready to release it. Is this what else I can say? As I said before, I think we put a lot of also new production techniques on it, which we're really proud of it. Definitely my voice has been developing a lot since then, because the stuff that you hear now on Chroma, our EP, have actually been recorded in years ago, or even a little bit more than that. So that's the point where we could put a lot of new stuff on it, and we're really looking forward to releasing it.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So, obviously you mentioned coronavirus. Could you, as not even just as a musician, just life in general, how has coronavirus affected your life in Japan?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but honestly speaking, my life has been affected quite positively from Corona. If I look, for example, the way out we do work now, of course we are all working from home, which actually gave me a lot of help to have more time for music, right? So I can definitely focus more on music, and especially my job, which is more a job on performance and on delivery. I can just deliver in the time that I want, and then concentrating on my life on music. So that have been good for myself. Of course, if we look at the bad aspect, the music have been stopping for a while, but at the same time, I think for us was a good occasion to just gather, getting back in the studio, deepen the relationship within the band and what we really want to do in Japan as a band. And actually we realized that we really do believe in this project, and we really want to do a lot. And so it was also actually a good moment for kind of refocusing the band on what we want to do. That's how also we kind of came up finally with a plan in 2022, which we're really excited to execute it now that Corona is out of the way, right? So in general, I think a lot of positive things out of that. Of course, I've been I guess a pain in the ass for everyone not being able to partying after 7 o'clock or this kind of things, but at the same time, maybe because of Corona, I also moved to a new apartment, a bigger apartment, so I could host a little bit more of parties here in my place. And
that is great. Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody's life has been affected in some way by coronavirus, but if you could find something positive out of it, I think that's a good thing, honestly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's fantastic. So you said you have plans for 2022. What exactly are you planning for next year?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking. So for 2022, a lot of things going on. Maybe I don't want to mention everything.
Sure.
If we're not gonna execute it, then it would be a shame. So
Sure.
But for sure, one of our focus is, as I said before, to develop Motion Tokyo, which is something that we would really wanna be a center for, like, you know, the foreigners and the Japanese community here in Japan as metalcore. Then we definitely are going to release a full album for this year. That's what we wanna do. We already produced a lot of songs actually recently, and we're going to produce more, which just need to be recorded. So we do want to release an album. What we're gonna do also from now on soon is shooting a new MV for the band. So we're going to release also a new MV with the new members that we promoted all together a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, potentially that's what we want to do for 2022. So for sure, more gigs to come, more video to come. But potentially we would also like to aim to if we think it's gonna be a good promotion for the band, but also doing a tour more in the south area of Japan, also Kansai. So yeah, we kind of trying to be ambitious, but we've been, you know, keeping everything stored for because of Corona. So this year we really do wanna try to progress the bands a lot.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. And, you know, now that coronavirus, especially in Japan, the situation has gotten a lot better. I think, musicians, this is the time now to kind of get back out there and start doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the music, we talked about the band. Now I'm going to start asking you some, we call it the rapid fire round, where
That's my favorite part.
we ask very they sound difficult, but they're pretty simple questions. The first thing that comes to your mind, you can give that as the answer. All right. So
okay.
The first one, obviously you are from Italy and you've been in Japan for 9 years. So what culture shock did you have when you first came to Japan?
Oh, shit! I should answer very quickly, but it's maybe too many stuff. But maybe I can say that, and I still don't understand why. But when I open, and yeah, it is a culture shock. But when I opened my luggage and come to Japan, a giant cockroaches came out of it.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, and I still don't know how it happened. And the lady that my host mom at the time, she just killed it like with no problem. It was like shit.
Yeah. At our work we have a lot of bugs, and we've gotten used to the bugs in Chiba. They're big. Obviously, me coming to Japan, there's a lot of new bugs here that I've never seen before. We had a spider, and one of our students was like freaking out about it, and the grandma was there dropping her off, and the grandma literally grabbed it with her hand. The spider just threw it, like not even scared. She just grabbed it, like. Yeah. We're like, oh my gosh, like they don't mess around with bugs here. Super, for sure.
Yeah, that's a culture shock. Yeah, Japanese are used to bugs, not as like.
I agree, Fabio.
Yeah,
it's scary.
That's a very relatable answer. Yeah. All right, next question. The number one food you can't live without.
Oh, I'm vegetarian now.
Okay.
So yeah. So if you ask me, I would like to say a good plate of veggies.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's
in specific. I would say my vegan lasagna. Probably I can't live without it. Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, that's a tough question, honestly, that I ask people, because food is pretty important to a lot of countries in the world, especially Italy, especially Japan.
Yeah.
That's cool, being a vegetarian. I tried it for like 6 months when I first was here. It's easy when you're at home, but once you go out with people, it gets harder, or it used to be like that. But it's good though. It's good for your health,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I started this year actually, and I'm still here after 10 months. So yeah. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, but so far I'm just feeling amazing. Yeah, but being vegetarian. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, next one. So, favorite band of all time?
Oh, I would say the Gazette.
The Gazette.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've heard of them.
What kind of music is it?
They are a visual K band.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And yeah, that's funny because actually in our band, we weren't like looking at that in particular, but it ends up like the all four of us now to be very big Visual K fans and having like a Visual K background. So I was playing actually in Italy in a Visual K band, and Zach was playing in a Visual K band, Nishiva as well, and Robin, our drummer, like he's another like Visual K band fan. So
cool.
I think a lot of our influences are hidden in the Visual K as well. Yeah.
That's great.
My first live band I saw in Japan was a Visual K band. Have you heard of the band called Borns?
Borns? No, I don't know them. I know them.
Yeah, I think I heard them on an anime opening. And my first time in Japan, I wanted to go see a live show. It was crazy. I think me and my friend were the only males that were there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all girls. It was a crazy experience. It was really cool though. I loved it. Like it's like a mixture of like, it looked like they're playing in Motley Crue kind of, but then a little bit like I like the guitar playing is totally up my alley, the style they play. I like it. Kind of reminds me of like the screamo kind of post-hardcore kind of sound.
Right.
I like the guitar. So I like Visual K too. It's really cool.
That's great.
That's cool genre.
Yeah.
I've never really listened to a lot of Visual K, but you know, I think it's time to maybe check it out a little bit more.
Yeah, you know, when you say Visual K, it's very broad, because first of all, Visual K, it's like the visual part, right? Like how the bands look like, which, you know, they're very stylish and you know, like maybe gothic or whatever in the style, right? But then when you look at the music itself, it's actually very, very, very various. But as you said, right, a lot of bands actually were like on the heavy like post-hardcore metal or this kind of influences, and that's where also probably our bands like pick up a lot of that. So the Gazette, for example, it's one of those bands that more in the last phase of their career, they started to be heavier and heavier.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, last question. Favorite movie of all time?
I would say V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I remember when I was a kid when it first came out. I was like 11 or 12 when it first came out.
Yeah.
But, wow, this looks terrifying, but it's probably... I just thought so at the time.
We went through a phase where everyone had the mask in high school. Everyone was wearing it.
Right.
For Halloween, everyone wore it. And it kind of was like a thing for a while, but no, it's a great movie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely lends itself to, you know, the Visual K, the darker, that definitely has a lot of that in there too, I think. Yeah, it's cool. All right, well, thank you for the rapid fire questions. So before we wrap this up, just one more time, can you mention to everybody again about the tour, your single, tell everyone where they could find everything?
Sure, absolutely. No, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this, guys. I really do appreciate. So it's always important to do community and for us also to promote the band. So thank you very much for this. And yes, as I said in the beginning, we are Ask I Fall. We are metalcore bands here in Japan. We definitely believe in this project, and we have coming up now a tour called Where We Belong Tour. We're gonna play 3 dates. We're gonna play this Saturday in Chiba. We're gonna play next Sunday in Kanagawa, and then we're gonna play the 27th of November in Sangenjaya, Heaven's Door. So definitely gonna check it out, guys.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Saturday I might be able to make it to your show in Chiba on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah,
for sure. That's cool. All right, so Fabio, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really good talking to you, and we really appreciate it. Like you said, you know, making community. We do this for the same reason that you do your stuff too, just trying to get, you know, a music community. So it's always fun to talk with, you know, musicians that clearly have a lot of passion and like it as much as we do. So really, thank you very much. And hopefully when 2022 comes and you start putting everything to action, we can talk again and see how things are going.
Yeah, I'd love
absolutely. No, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for having me. So yeah, let's keep in touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Fabio.
Cheers, guys. Have a great one.
The Gotham to Tokyo podcast.